If your footage always ends up looking like this, flat, noisy, and just off no matter how much you film, then you don't have a camera problem. Your videos are getting ignored before anyone even gives them a chance, and it's because you're using your camera wrong. Most people think they need better gear, but that's not what's actually killing their footage. It's coming down to a few mistakes you don't even realize you're making. And there are three things that actually control how your footage looks: the audio, the lighting, and a camera or your phone settings. This is the part almost everyone ignores, because you can have great video, but if your audio sounds like this, people click off instantly. So what can you do? If you're on a limited budget, you don't need to buy a microphone like that one. You can buy something cheap from Amazon, or if you're using iPhone, you can just use your earpods, because I know a few creators that are using these earpods for their YouTube videos, and it sounds alright. What is very important is that no matter what you are using, make sure to improve your audio in post-production. So if you're using CapCut, DaVinci, whatever that is, make sure to improve your audio there. There are two things you need to do to instantly improve your audio. So here is my footage, and now I'm using CapCut for this tutorial. So I just go to audio section, and I do literally two things to immediately improve the audio. First, I click reduce noise, and it will remove all the noises that you don't want to have in your video. And then all I do, I just increase volume a little bit. Usually I just use 2 decibels or 3 decibels is completely enough. Obviously you need to listen to your footage to see the difference, but this is the first thing that I always do in all my materials, all my videos, and it literally takes 30 seconds. This alone can make your videos instantly more watchable, but even with good audio, your video can still look cheap. And this is where most people mess up, because flat lighting or no lighting whatsoever can make your videos look amateur. So what you should do instead is to place a few lights around you, and they don't need to be very expensive. You can even use natural lighting. Usually when I'm recording my videos, I have natural source of lighting there, but if you don't have that, you can just use your own lighting that you have right now. Just play with it properly. So the rule of thumb is that you should have your camera right in front of you, and then you should have your key lighting on a 45-degree angle to camera. Then you also want to have your fill light the same mid intensity. It should be very intense, and then you only need to have light in the background. Ideally you also want to separate yourself from the background. So let me show you what it looks like when you separate yourself from the background, and then we add extra lights. So this is the first setting. Right now it's very dark, but I try to separate myself from the background, so I have light in front of me, you can see it on my face, and we don't have anything else. So right now it's time to add our light. And this is usually the line that I like to keep on my face. Obviously the color can be different for you. For me it's green. You can use white, you can use red, yellow. Obviously there are a few mistakes. I could have this light a little bit higher and going from the top. This is the best setting, but I want to have something quick that is working for my setup. Now it's time to add the background light. I have only one. Again, it's very cheap. All the lights that you can see here are around $30 or $40 on Amazon. So again, this is just $40 and you'll be using them for the next 2 or 3 years with all your recordings. So here we go. Instantly it looks better. So here is one source of a light, here is another source of a light. There's also one more light there, but this is not a light that I was buying. It's just light from my kitchen, and usually there is also the window, so I have natural source of light, but because right now it's evening, I don't have the source. And obviously we have this source of light here. It's a very small thing, and that's pretty much it. So this is what creates depth and this cinematic look, but even with good lighting, your video can still look grainy and off. And this is the part that confuses a lot of people. They are recording in 4K, but still the video looks grainy. So what is actually going on? These people are not applying the right filters, and they are not really correcting anything. So let me show you what I do next to make sure my videos look good. So here is my footage. I didn't do anything yet. We can see it's raw footage, is a little bit grainy, but don't worry, because you can do just 2 things and immediately make it look better. So the first thing is to make it a little bit more sharp. So we go to adjust settings, we scroll down, and here we see sharpen option. So now we just need to make it a little bit more sharp. Usually I pick it between 30 or 60. You just need to check what looks the best for you. This one already looks much better. So we have 30, 60. 60 is probably a little bit too much, so let's keep 40. And you just need to check what your footage looks like. Let's say we'll keep 30 in this case. And this is one part. Another part is that you can also blur your background without any extra lenses, just here. So what we need to do, we just copy the footage, we put it right on top of the other, and now we just go to the video section and now remove background. we click auto removal. It's very simple, we don't need to do anything. In a matter of seconds, the background will be removed. As you can see right now, it is processing, so it will take a few seconds. And once it's removed, we will blur the background. Okay, so background is removed, and we can clearly see when I move myself, there is one more matte in this video. So I just put myself right in the middle, and now all I have to do is just go to effects. Now you just need to pick a blur effect, put it on your footage, and then change how strong this blur should be. We don't need to put something that is very strong. Let's say 15 should be completely enough, and then immediately it changes how the whole content looks. Now we can see blur around myself, so this is good. We can even remove the sharpen option from beneath. So this is what we have. We have myself and also background that is a little bit blurred. And once you fix this, your footage will immediately look more clean and more professional. But there's also one more thing that makes everything come together. And this is what takes it from better to actually good. And this is, again, separation yourself from the background, but also using a specific LUT for your videos. So don't worry, if you don't understand color grading, you can just use a ready LUT for your footage. So let me just show you what it might look like. Let me create a compound clip from that. This is one clip. Now when you click adjust, you can pick a LUT here. So now you can pick a few different styles, right? I have quite a few of them. Depending on the footage, some of them will look better, some of them will look worse. But what I like to do, I usually will use this one. And I will just use protect skin tone, and I will just lower it a little bit to around 60%. So in this case, if you pick the LUT that you like the color style that you like, this is pretty much everything what you need to do to make your clip look professional, even with a cheap camera or an iPhone. And for your reference, I'm using iPhone 17 Pro, but before I was using iPhone 12 Pro, and I believe everyone has a better phone than iPhone 12 Pro. This is quite old model. So if I could make it with iPhone 12 Pro, you can make it with pretty much any camera or any mobile phone. And you don't really need to know all these complicated settings that photographers or videographers know. You just need to know these that I showed you in this video, and you can clearly see the difference. And now you can see a before and after, and you can see the difference is huge. Not only we sound better, but we also look better. So you look professional even if you are just getting started, and the budget for it is probably around $40 or $50, which is pretty much nothing. And you pay it once, and you can keep this setting for the next, let's say 2, 3, or even 5 years, which is great ROI. So if you want to fix your videos, focus first on audio, then on lighting, and then on settings, not on your camera or your phone. Because the truth is, you don't need better gear, you just need to understand how to use what you already have. Now that your videos look good, there is another problem, which is consistency. This is where most people fell off. So if you want to know how to create a ton of content without burning out, make sure to watch this video that you can see on the screen right now.